This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cardano welcoming you to another sports catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy of today, May the 31st, is this guy, Kenny Lofton, 54 years old. Can't believe he's only 54 years old. He's had a legendary career. I know that he's an icon for the Cleveland Indians, but he played for many other teams in his career. So many teams, I can't believe it. But anyway, Kenny Lofton is a six-time All-Star and one of the best stolen base leaders in history. Here's who he played for in order: Houston, Cleveland, well, he had three stints with Cleveland, Atlanta, the Chi Sox, San Fran, Pittsburgh, the Cubs, Yankees, Phillies, Dodgers, and Rangers, Texas Rangers, that is. Lofton actually went to the University of Arizona on a basketball scholarship and was part of the team that went to the Final Four in 1988. So Kenny Lofton could have been an NBA player. But anyway, he wasn't. Anyway, Lofton made 11 postseason appearances, including 2 World Series appearances in 95 and 2002. Sadly, both times he didn't win the World Series. Ironically, from 2001 to 2007, he didn't spend more than one consecutive season with a team. So basically, he spent 7 straight seasons with at least a different team every time. In fact, the Indians were the only team he played for longer than one season. That's amazing. He helped them in 9.5 seasons with the Indians win 6 division titles. He did pretty good and all that. You know. So it was weird. Kenny Lofton was a basketball player for the University of Arizona, which is an icon. He was the backup point guard for the 1988 team that went to the Final Four, to Craig McMillan and Steve Kerr. And he was the starting point guard for the 89 team that went to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. In fact, Lofton is only one of 2 men to be in a college basketball Final Four and a World Series. The other is Tim Stoddard, who played for the famous 74 NC State team I mentioned a while ago. And when did he go to the World Series? Stoddard. I can't remember. Oh yeah, the 84 Padres. He tried out for the baseball team during his junior year, and the Astros actually selected him in the 17th round of the 88 draft. All that. Lofton earned a degree in studio production at the University of Arizona. So he went to Houston. Houston granted him a major league debut in September 91. He did pretty well, scoring 3 runs against the Reds. He was good. And with the fact that Houston gambled on Steve Finley being the center fielder, not Lofton, they decided to trade Lofton during the offseason to Cleveland for Eddie Tomlinson and Willie Blair, which it didn't work out. Houston basically didn't do well with Tomlinson, and he was a Red before long. But anyway, Lofton batted .285 in his first season with Cleveland. He had 66 stolen bases, which is the all-time record for an AL rookie, and the most by any rookie since Vincent Coleman did 110 in 1985. In fact, the stolen base mark broke the Cleveland record set by Miguel Dillon in 1980. And no, he was not French, if you must know. Anyway, the Indians' first base coach helped Lofton with his base running technique and the bunting and all that. Lofton would finish second in Rookie of the Year voting in the AL Rookie of the Year to Pat Lesage. Lofton got a 4-year contract extension, and he even got 70 steals in one season. Basically, he was good and all that. Lofton kept getting steals and all that. It was amazing. Lofton looked good, and he was part of the powerful 95 Cleveland team that looked like they were going to be ending Cleveland's World Series drought. But Atlanta, with their pitching, crushed the Indians in the fine powder. So basically, Lofton felt stunned by it. And all that. After the 96 season, as an impending free agent, Cleveland decided to trade Lofton to Atlanta. basically GM Hart actually said that Kevin Hart needed to make the trade so that they would not lose Lofton as free agent for nothing. So the Indians traded Lofton and Alan Embry to Atlanta for Marcus Grissom and David Justice. So basically, yeah, that was huge and all that. The Braves were doing pretty well for himself. And Lofton did pretty good. He did steal a lot of bases, though. But Lofton in the NLCS didn't bat that well, and the Braves lost to the Marlins in the World Series for a trip to the World Series. Ironically, Cleveland would lose to Florida in the World Series, so Lofton could have played against his former team in the World Series. So anyway, he was eligible for free agency and decided to leave. But he decided to return to the American League and return back to Cleveland for a 3-year, $24 million deal. Lofton did not have a good batting average, but he did pretty well. His RBIs were decent, and he doubled the stolen base count with 54, so he did pretty well. Lofton would be huge for the Indians and all that, especially in the greatest comeback in modern baseball history. In 2001, when the Mariners came to town, they were at 14-2 in Cleveland, but in front of a Sunday night ESPN crowd. The Indians sought to come back and all that. That was amazing. Lofton scored the game-winning run. All that. Ironically, if Seattle had won that game against Cleveland, they would have had 117 wins, which is would have been the all-time MLB mark. Instead, they share it with the 1906 Cubs. Although, in retrospect, the Cubs one is much better because the Cubs one was in 154 games. Or was it 154? Yeah, 154 games. So basically, they had fewer games than the Seattle did. Cleveland did it. Cleveland ironically would play Seattle in the ALDS and lose. Sadly, though, Lofton had some injuries. He became a free agent, and the White Sox decided to sign him to a 1-year contract. He seemed good and all that. He appeared in 93 games for the White Sox and had 22 stolen bases, but then he was traded to San Francisco for a pair of minor leaguers, basically to get him a chance at a World Series ring. In fact, Lofton actually decided to. Lofton was the guy who got the big hit to get the Giants their first NL pennant since 1989. So basically, Kenny Lofton got the game-winning hit to send the Giants to the World Series. Lofton was basically the guy who flew out to end the 2002 World Series as the Angels won that one. Pittsburgh decided to sign him to a 1-year contract to begin the 2003 season. And he did okay, but then they traded him to the Cubs for. It was weird. The Cubs needed a leadoff man, and Kenny Lofton helped, in a sense. Lofton did pretty well. In fact, of the Cubs starters in that NLCS against the Marlins in 2003, he had the best batting average. But of course, the Marlins came back from 3-1 down. Lofton was on the move when the Yankees decided to sign him to a 2-year contract. All that. He seemed like it was going to help the Yankees and all that. Bud Lofton was part of that 2004 Yankees team that squandered that 3-0 lead against the Bo Sox. Lofton was traded again, December 2004, to Philadelphia for Felix Rodriguez, the reliever. So Philly thought they needed him and all that. Lofton did pretty good. He was the best batting average leader, in a sense, but he didn't qualify because he only had 110 appearances. 110 games, I guess? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, the Phillies do okay, but they missed the wild card by 1 game. Texas decided in 2006 to sign him to a contract. So, in fact, Lofton tied Seal for most teams played by a position player. He did okay for the Rangers. And then basically, Lofton was traded back to Cleveland in 2007. It was amazing. In fact, he actually, part of the 2007 Indians in the ALDS against the Yankees, he set the record for most stolen bases in the postseason, beating Ricky Henderson's mark. The Indians almost went to the World Series in 2007, but blew a 3-1 series lead against the Bull Sox. He didn't sign a contract after he was free agent after the end of the 2007 season. Basically, he retired and all that. Basically, Lofton was the best bunter of the 1990s. And, his speed was helpful and all that. So basically, Lofton is not eligible for the Hall of Fame, especially, the big. Anyway, he did okay and all that. Lofton is a perfectionist by trade. But yeah, he was one of the best stolen base people of all time. And it's amazing where he went. He went from Houston, Cleveland, Atlanta, Cleveland, Chicago, San Fran, Pittsburgh, Cubs, New York, Philly, LA, Texas, Cleveland. Man, how about that? His career, he almost got a 300 batting average. He missed by just 1 percentage point. But 600 stolen bases is still something to behold. Really? Of course. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.